What's up, everybody? Reggie Edwards from the Front Row Report here today. I am honored and excited to have the current singer for the band Saliva, Bobby Amaru, on the phone today. Bobby, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Enjoying some semi-nice weather up here in Indianapolis. It's like 30 degrees, so that's a...
Oh, wow. It's like in the 70s here in Florida, in Jacksonville. So.
Well, I'm a little jealous of you right now, but this is the warmest we've had in about a month, so...
Oh, wow, yeah.
Man, it's an exciting day today. The new single, Rise Up, is available today. It hit radio today. It's available on iTunes today. Man, how pumped are you guys to get the single out to the public?
Very pumped. Yeah, we feel strong about the single and the record, you know. We're extremely excited to get back on the road and just kind of share this with everybody, man.
Awesome. Yeah, and the new album comes out April 29th, and it's the same title, Rise Up. Comes on the heels of In It to Win It, which was released in September. There's going to be, from what I understand, going to be a couple new tracks on the record, some of the same ones from In It to Win It. Why a new album this soon after In It to Win It was released, and what can fans expect from the newer tracks on the record?
Basically, In It to Win It was released just for the fans. Like, it was just released online. It wasn't... Yeah, we had some trouble getting the retail and distribution so late in the year.
Okay.
So we knew that as soon as we got a release date, we were going to take it offline.
Okay,
so,
that makes
sense.
Yeah,
I mean, that's pretty much it, man. I mean, yeah, there was records, but it's got a new cover and all the new artwork and stuff like that. We didn't want to, like, cheat people or anything.
Right, okay.
It's basically a limited edition was the way we did it to win it.
Okay.
So.
Okay, cool. So Rise Up is the final, the real deal, the final brand new real Saliva record. In It to Win It was, like you said, for the fans. Rise Up is what's really what we're really
that's the push, yeah, and that's the one that hits stores, international and all stuff.
Okay, cool. So what can fans expect? Fans who heard In It to Win It, some of the newer tracks that are going to be on Rise Up. What can we expect from the newer stuff that's going to be on Rise Up?
Dude, it's intense. I still think that there's a lot of people who haven't even heard In It to Win It or heard, any of the songs. Some really, really good songs on there that we worked hard on. We really wanted to make a good rock record, and not just another, Saliva record. We wanted it to be special.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because I'm one of the ones that I heard In It to Win It, and I absolutely loved it. For me, it had that Saliva attitude, that punch that a lot of the older Saliva records had. Not that the last couple didn't have it, but like I've seen you say it in a couple interviews, and I do agree that in a lot of ways, Saliva kind of got away from the heavier attitude,
Yeah. Well,
everyone knew him more. In It to Win It really got back to that, and the single Rise Up is really, really epitomizes everything Saliva is all about.
I agree. Yeah, I definitely agree, and I think that we got to make the record that we wanted to make too. Nobody was telling us how to make it, or I think the past few records that they kind of did, they were just a little tired and worn out, and you have people pretty much telling you they should do this or write like this or come on, man, have you checked out that new Imagine Dragon? You gotta sound like that or whatever,
Yeah.
So there's always those kind of things, and nothing against them. I think that band's great, but
yeah.
I think that that's just the way the industry is sometimes, and we just with our new deal and everything, we wanted to have control over the music that we were going to create.
Yeah.
That was pretty much it.
Yeah.
And plus, there's a fire up everybody's ass too. Everyone's excited and ready to do this thing.
Awesome. Yeah, touching on what you just talked about, I really think that especially in today's music industry, even the rock industry, in some of the bigger cities, especially up here in Indianapolis, you turn on rock radio and you hear bands like Imagine Dragons and Mumford and Sons. Those bands are great bands. They're good, but they're not rock. And a lot of people do consider those bands to be the new age of rock. And it seems like there's pressure for rock bands to kind of conform to that sound if they want to be successful now and sell records. And it's good to see a rock record being made by a good rock band that doesn't go down that alley, that stays true to what rock and roll really is about. It's good to see that, finally. But yeah, you also said you got your new deal. You're with Rum Bum Records. What stuck out to you guys about Rum Bum, and what are the advantages of being with that record label?
Well, I mean, there were some other labels that were interested and stuff, and that kind of offered deals, and but with this one, it was different. There wasn't but only one other band on the label or on the roster, and then everything seemed so. Everyone there was just friendly and cool, and it's like a family deal, man. Like there was no crazy pressure or there were things that we wanted that we really wanted to make happen, and it wasn't like they didn't fight on it. They were like, they believed in the band. They signed the band because they were fans of the band. So that, first and foremost, was huge for us.
Awesome.
And I mean, it's always different being on an indie compared to a major label.
Yeah.
They're two different types.
Yeah, I've seen you say in interviews past where people from the label, they've traveled with you guys when you tour.
Yeah.
It looks like they really go above and beyond and go that extra mile to really hit it home for you guys. And not many labels will do that, where they go on the road with you. That's really cool to see.
Yeah, there's just a couple of them will come out and just come check on us, make sure we're not getting in too much trouble.
Nice, man. It's interesting because you're going on 3 years as the front man, and a lot of people still see you as the new singer, but it's been like 3 years. Is that weird for you to hear new singer of Saliva when it's like I've been in the band for like 3 years now? Is it?
Yeah. Is it? Well, yeah. That's the point. Typically, if Paul or someone else does an interview, they'll say, yeah, it's not new anymore. But with me, it's cool. I mean, I can take it, and it's just part of it, man. People are always going to think that. It's part of proving yourself too. You kind of have to go out and, just kind of prove that it's your thing. And it is. I mean, I feel that I feel I've proved it, and we've played some really, really good shows and some big festivals and stuff too, and met a lot of really cool people, man. And it's been fun. So
nice. Yeah, you played what was it? Welcome to Rockville down there last year, I think it was, down in I want to say either Jacksonville or Fort Lauderdale. That's a pretty big festival in itself. That's part of the world's loudest punk. How was performing that festival, one of the biggest festivals in the country, in your home state?
Actually, I live in Jacksonville, so Jacksonville's my city too. So
I wasn't sure if it was in your hometown, or I knew it was in your home state. I couldn't remember if it was your hometown or not. But
that in particular, I mean, that festival in particular was great. Of course, I mean, the only thing that sucks about it is when you live somewhere like that, and you have 200 people hitting you up trying to get in.
That's true. Yeah,
that's the only thing that can be you're getting pulled in many directions on that day. So.
Yeah, and you got
it's fun, man. It's a great thing to, and I think it's a great festival. And I think Danny Wimmer, who pretty much started it, he does like Rock on the Range and Epicenter and Carolina Rebellion, a bunch of big festivals and stuff. He's from Jacksonville as well, so I think it's an thing that he brings an event like that to Jacksonville, because he could easily take it to Orlando if he wanted to, or wherever. But he,
awesome.
I think Jax is awesome. It's a good city. So
awesome. Now, you played drums in Burn Season, your previous band, and was it hard for you to transition into the frontman role, or was it pretty natural for you?
I guess it's kind of like Dave Grohl thing, man. I mean, I love doing both. I mean, I play drums. I like entertaining, man. Either way, I like being on stage, whatever it is. I like being the front man. Because I like having that control and the ability to entertain people that way. And yell at people. It's always fun. So.
That would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be fun.
Having a microphone does not suck.
I can imagine that would be. I would probably be one of those guys that you wouldn't want to give a microphone to. So.
Well, I was gonna say. I mean, if I'm like, if I had too much to drink, take the microphone from me. But
right.
Right. I try not to do that.
Touching back on coming into the frontman role, did you feel any pressure stepping into the role as the frontman of Saliva, and especially in the age of social media, where everybody you have access to what pretty much everybody's saying, and there's there's positivity, but I mean with a band like Saliva or even 3 Days Grace, who just got a new frontman, there's going to be naturally some negativity towards it.
Yeah.
I mean, like social media add to that pressure, or did you feel it?
No, I don't let it. I actually stopped. I stopped caring. I stopped looking at anything. I mean, and I tried not to in the beginning, either. But I think that, I'd have a couple friends that'd be like, "Yeah, man, people are, saying good things about you. There's one guy saying something stupid, or I'll hear about it." And it's kind of like there's always going to be that, no matter what. There's going to be some dude, freaking in his, house, like huge, like old school Saliva fan.
Yeah.
Sharing like a bunk bed with like his 12-year-old sister. He has like a particle board door, and but he's got to go online and talk shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always going to be that, and I just have to take myself out of it, and I don't really think about that stuff or let it bother me. I do what I do, and there's a lot of other people who like it, so that's. Can't please everybody.
There's always going to be that one fan or that handful of fans that are going to be like, "Oh, it's not the same band without the original," or "It's not the same band without the original guitar player, all the original members." But it's
no. I mean, but he's right. I mean, they're right. I mean, it's not the same band. It's a different band, but it's still the same. But there's still three guys, original guys in the band, and we. You can't please everybody, but I mean, it's always good, man, when we play shows and people do come out, and I've had incidences where people have said, "Dude, I literally wrote a negative comment about you last week on Facebook that I have to go and delete now," and so there's been that, which is always good to hear, and people have actually really been really cool, man, especially when they come to the show, because I think that's where they see, wow. This isn't like what we thought, or I'm impressed now, and that's all it's about, man. We're not trying to. As long as I can get that, that's it.
Right, and it's not like the guitarist is changing. The band is still going to sound like the same band. Vocally it may be a little different, but it's still going to have that same old school classic sound. And when you sit down and listen to "In It to Win It" or the new single "Rise Up," it's going to sound like Saliva. And if you really give it a chance, you're going to love it. It absolutely rocks in every way. It really feels like the album that the band needed to make at this point in time in their career. Because, it's been a while since the last record came out. You're in the band now, and, you really have to put something out that kicks ass at this point to really, you got to do something to make fans excited, and, everything. And it really did that. It really did that, I think. How important.
That's all we tried to do, man. We put our heart and soul into it, man. And the songs and the process, and that's all we can do, and go out and tour, and this is our lives. This is what we do for a living, and it's we don't want to give up. We don't want to not do it. So.
Right.
It's fun.
So after Rise Up is released in about a month and a half to 2 months or so, what are we looking at for the rest of 2014? Do we have any festivals over the summer that we can look forward to? I know you guys are about to announce a massive amount of tour dates in the next week or two, I think. What can we look at?
Man, we're gonna be on tour. We're on tour all year, man. Crazy.
Nice.
Yeah, we're doing a lot of stuff, man. A lot of different festivals, a lot of summer stuff. We're doing some package touring as well later in the summer. Most of this now is just going to be just headlining, and then we'll end up as the record kind of gets some traction, and the single gets more traction. We'll start doing some other things. So
awesome, man. Bobby, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to talk to me. It's been absolutely awesome, and looking forward to the new album. Congratulations on the new single and everything that's about to happen for you guys, and everything that's happened already. It's going to be fun to watch. So.
Dude, I appreciate it, man. Thank you as well, man.
Awesome, man. We'll see you when you get up to Indianapolis.